Hi guys, it's Aston. Today we are going to take a look into native forms. In this video, I'm going to show you what it is and what are the main functionalities of it, and also give you a quick walkthrough on how the backend look like and how you can create form, how you can view responses, and also I'll be showing you what is the email notification look like, and finally we'll be also doing a speed test to see what kind of resources it use and what is the loading speed look like. Okay, you can see from the my desktop screen, this is their website. Basically it's a HTML form builder. Why HTML form builder is much better compared to VPS? VP form builders are only allocated for that particular WordPress CMS, and also most of the WordPress uh, contact forms use more resources, like loads more resources, but in general HTML forms uses less resources, and also you can use it on any website. Not only you are limited to WordPress, but also you can embed it into HTML site or any other site which accept any HTML sort of it. You can use that. And also with this HTML form builder, you are not just limited to contact form. There are so much forms you can do. Even they support pools, quizzes, or pretty much anything. The use cases are up to you, and we will be looking into this. Okay, now let me close out of the sales page, and this is the dashboard of this. I just signed up for a 14-day trial because I wanted to test it out since you guys asked me. Basically, this is one of the cleanest interface which I've seen so far, and it loads really fast and looks very minimal and easy to use also. For example, this section gives you an overview, and also they have given the ability to organize our forms into multiple different tabs. For example, if I'm doing it for separate projects, I will create separate folder for example, if I want to have a separate folder forms all under one category, I create a thing and I create this form, and this will be included within this folder. So like that we can organize our forms in a much easier way. And also it will show, for example, this my form folder currently contain two different forms, and we are able to see all the responses it received and in a linear format, like what is the response I got yesterday. If I click here, it changes the response on. We can see what are the response. For example, for contact form I have received 3, and it shows what is the 3 responses. If I click on native, we can do that. And also we have the option to directly open from here to get a preview of the form, duplicate it, move to a different folder if you want, or block form or delete form options also available. So you can create new form and quickly view different forms, and also organize forms from here. And also you can see there are some sorting options available, like do you want to sort it by most read, most responses, newest, old, or by the alphabetic of the name itself. This is where you can see the more in-depth data and give you more control. For example, now I have clicked on contact us, and it automatically shows you. For example, if I click here, it shows you the responses recorded here. We can also have the option to sort it in different time range to see collected responses. First of all, I'll show you this one quickly, so you can see all the leads collected will be keep on showing it here. You can see this one completed 19 hours ago, and if I click here, that gave the overview, but when I click here, I can directly see the preview of what the user has submitted, what are the option he filled it out, and also we can see it from here. For example, it shows the name, when it was completed. We can also add tags to manage the responses much better. For example, if I click on add, do I want to set it input? These are predefined ones, but you can create your own too. For example, if I go into that, I can create a new tag and assign a color value and description, and you can just according to your use flow. And also you can delete the existing one or edit. That option is also available. Not only that, it shows you that some background details such as where the form was filled, IP address, desktop, platform it was used, browser, and how much time it took to complete the form, completed date, and also that it shows you the data. So you can quickly see this. For example, since this form contains only one, let me go here, and if I go here, I can see all the data here. So I can click on it and do this or this, and if I click on here, I can export the data directly as JSON, Not only that, you have a lot of integrations with this also, so you can directly send it to your favorite platform. I'll show you the more details in a later stage of this video. So you can get this, and you can see the tags, and also it shows whether I have viewed this or not, all this thing, and shows the total. And we can also export this data into CSV or edit this form. For example, I want to make some changes to this form, I can do that. Or send this form. If you click in, there are 3 different ways to send it. I'll show you more in depth, but link, email, or iframe is where you can embed this form into any places. And also more options give you the same more options here. So this is the preview and the place where you see the data. Now see, let's see some of the different tabs. Okay, before going into that, first let's create a new form. We can create a new form by like this, video test form, and you can already, they have created different templates for this. If you not, you can always go for the blank one. For example, if you want to see how the templates of this work, you can see if you go into this template section, they have given all the different mostly used form style. For example, bug report, and you can see these are separate form pages form. For example, first page will show these 2 fields, second page will show this, third page will something similar to type form. And you can see these are one page forms, and you can see the demo for this, and you can use this template if you want. I'm not going to go with a blank form since it will take time to add all the fields. So in this case, I'm just going to pick a 2-page form. So I can show you guys. Let's see whether I can pick a 2 form. Let me do this. I think this is good. If I click on use template, I can see automatically this comes up, and there is no messages for this form so far. That is why it's showing in no form. But first let me edit the form, and if I go here, you can see it shows you the preview, and automatically it shows you how many pages are in this form. So for example, if I want to see the page 2, I click on here, page 3 I click on here, page 4 I click on here. And also if I want to add more, I can definitely add it from here. For example, I have now added a 6th page. Now I want to add an element inside this. All these options are available for you. For example, let me paste this and go down and click on add questions, and these are all the questions. For example, I didn't explain this. Page 1, it shows you these are the fields available. I can mark it as required. I can edit the badge. You can see select the answer and usability. We can display an image as an answer. Also we can move it up and down. All these things are possible. Allow selecting multiple, display inlay answers, randomize answer questions, so it will keep on randomizing this. And also we can add more answers. So according to the question type, you will present it with different functionalities for that. For example, if I here, you can see whether I want to open fields or selection field, or a number scale, or slider where user can drag and drop, drag it down, file upload to upload attachments, something like that. Description, this is not a input field but rather just a output field to show information to user. You can type it out. Matrix, where you can have this kind of form to include star. This is generally good for rating, and you can have emojis also. Date pickers, the image, video, you can add that. And also Stripe payment. I haven't checked this payment aspect of it. I'm not sure what is the status of it currently, but I did check the others one, so I'll be showing that. First let me pick something different to this is good. I have added one long text. So if I scroll down here, you can see automatically on page 6 I have added this. So I can do make it required, and you can see edit the placeholder text. So if I go here and I put please share us your message, something like this. So you can add this, so you can, if you are using some foreign language, you can do that. And also input validation is there, for example number, email address, or custom regex expression also available. So if you want to test it out, you can do. In this case I'm not going to do any of this. Hopefully I can escape from it without causing any issues. uh, Remove validation, so I have removed it, and this is good. And not only you are able to add uh, one page, you can say, for example, you don't need to have 6 different pages. If you want to just have one form, one page is enough. Just create one, and you can delete the unnecessary pages. Or if you're creating from blank, for example, if I go into 6, I can keep on adding all the elements if I want all the questions in one. For example, let me pick this, and you can see it automatically keep on adding below that last element. And we can also change the order by clicking on here. It will change the order. For example, this is star, I want to appear before the message part. If I click here, it will come up there. And also you can see we can make the same kind of, but for different field, different options are available. And if I don't want star, instead I want to show emojis, that is possible. And you can use custom images and everything. So like that, you can keep on adding different field for it. Style form, first, there is not lot of much of styling you can do. I checked it on, there is bare minimum. It is a minimalistic look, but there are custom CS options also available. So if you want to modify it like that, you can do it. A logo is there, where you can upload a logo for your custom form. Show question number, if you prefer to show the numbers, or if you don't want, you can do that also. You can change the colors. It will have a color picker, you can choose from it. Text color, input background color, all these things. And completed screen on how you want to. This is really good if you want to have custom message or foreign language. As I mentioned, you can do that. And this is where I told you about integrations earlier. Let me minimize this. Yeah, you can not only need to see it from their dashboard, it will give you an email message whenever a form is completed. Something like this, you will get a message saying this form is completed in your email box. And also you can see it from the dashboard. But at the same time, you can connect into different platforms. For example, if you connect it to Google Sheet, it sends data directly to Google Sheet and automatically will be updated. So they have automations with Google Sheet, Jira, Slack, Intercom, HubSpot, Zenbook, Salesforce, Trello, Monday, Airtable, MailChimp, all these things. And also you can keep on sending you the request. In this case, I'm not going to connect it. And you can see email notification. There is an option to disable or want it. And you can add new recipients. For example, this is my account email, so it automatically giving it to me this. If I want, I can remove that also and give a new name. For example, this is really good if you are creating this form for your client or something, where you can create give the client email address and your email address also, so you can see the leads which they're coming onto this. And you can see send email to the person that completes. So if you want to send a copy of the message for the person who is filling out this form, you can do that also from here. And let me do this and go into conditional rendering. This is what you can go into, watch this tutorial to get in-depth knowledge. But basically, conditional formatting rendering will show. We can set a condition. For example, if this question has this value or equal or something like that, then show this. So only the person who answers that question in a particular manner with your condition will able to see one of the following questions. So for example, you're asking for a rating on your website and you want to show a particular set of question. If the rating is positive, like you can share your responses to our public review places or Facebook review, something like that. But if it's a negative review, you can instead show a message box asking, let us know what did you didn't like, so we can fix those things. So like that, you can create the different condition. You are not only limited to create one, but you can create multiple from here. And additional tweak, this is where if you want to hide the power by badge, you can do that. And you can if you want to have a terms and policy linked on your contact page, that is possible from here. And you can also change the text here. For example, you just need to make sure you have this in a correct snippet however they want, and you can change this text to whatever you want. For example, I don't want to say terms and condition, let me say TOS, I can do that. So something like that, you can keep on doing it. And you can enable reCAPTCHA to protect yourself from a spam comment or auto bots for this. And do I want to redirect, for a second, once the form is redirected, do I want to show the thank you message or redirect to some different pages or something like that. And also I have the option to append answers which they provide as a query parameter. So if I want to use some of the answer to dynamically customize the website, I can do that. Option is also available. Save form progress looker, for example, this will automatically save a partially completed form on a user end of it, so they can continue it from there. And save not completed forms. Randomize the question, for example, this is really good not for contact form or feedback, but most for quizzes. If you are doing this for quizzes, you don't want to have the same order, then you can use this to randomize. And you can see whether do you want to require a signature, and if you enable, the person has to submit draw a signature, and it will come to you. And RTL support, for example, this is especially important if you are using Arabic language, then the RTL support will come where it will be rendered right to left. So those options are available from here. But and also, not only you are having integrations with popular app, but you also have the option to webbook integrations. This will work really good with Pabbly, Instagrammetly, Intermat, so you're not just dependent on Zapier. And you create a new hook, and it's showing whether do I want to have a hook created when form is opened or completed. Most of the time you will use form completed to transfer the messages to some other software. Give you a webhook URL, and you can see it automatically will create a webhook, so we can connect it with our favorite automation software. And custom JavaScript, this is what I do. Even though the style is pretty basic, you can add custom JavaScript or custom CSS code to customize the form to the way you want to look. So that option is available. Finally, quizzes and poll. This is good if you don't want to create a contact or other form. For example, if you want to have a quiz mode present, you can do that. And you can see it will show you what is the correct answer. I need to mark it as a correct answer. And finally, form is completed. It will show you the score of that particular submission. And you can skip the submission also if I want or not. That option is available. And if you want to have a poll option, you can create that. For example, once the poll is completed, what it shows in the summary pages, based on all the responses it got from all the users, it will show you a pie chart and also show you the most number of answers which got most of the popularity. So if you are doing some different polls like that, I'll show you. If you want example video for that, do let me know. I will create a separate video to show you guys that. That's all. Once I do everything, just click on save. And also I can change the name. I forgot, satisfaction video survey or something like that. Let me give you a random name. And if I click on already saved, so now the form is saved. It will be appearing on the dashboard. I can refresh it. All these things are here now. If there are three options for me to do it. For example, I can directly go give a link like this so users can fill it, or I can download the HTML file and host directly from my server. For example, this is the link as I told you. Email for option is also available, or I can embed it into my website. That is also possible. And you can see this is how the form will feel like when we submitting the details. For example, I'm just picking up random value, and this is the final post. No, this is the final page. I can see, you can see I created a emoji also from here and here, and shows you the privacy policy, and they can submit it. I need to select it because I made sure to fill that. So once done, it shows you that we have the option to redirect also if you want. So that is how the form. Now let me quickly embed this code into one of my website, demo website, which I have in place, and see what is the resource it's loading, and let's see. So quickly do that. So in the meantime, do this, that, and publish, and let's see. So this is the embedding option, where it was really simple. You can do it on any HTML site or any website. Does not need to be a CMS specific. Now let me open the load in GTMetrix also, and also do a inspect here, so I can show you the load speed, because there is an option to see the load speed in every browser also. For example, uh, this is the load speed. It took started with 2 and completed within 4. Let me see. I think I'll wait for the GTMetrix, so it's easy for you guys to explain. Apart from that, I'll wait for that to show. We have the widget option, where you can embed this chat as a widget within your website, where you can click on it and automatically change. We can change the different. For example, if I want to show this satisfaction query which I created, I can do that. And you can see the instruction. Do I want to show the display as text or chat bubble? For example, I'll show you this. You can see this is, I'm not a fan of it because it looks weird on a vertical, but chat bubble, but there is no option to change the design so far. Installation, JavaScript, you just need to paste this. And okay, sorry about it. You can actually change this. Is I forgot about it. Email, you can change the image, background color, logo, width, where do you want to position is. Integration is also available. For example, where do you want to connect it, and additional tweaks also available, like show the widget on mobile or not, only show it for visitors or for logged in members also. So those options are available. Let's see the load. For example, we don't care about the scores. Let me see this. And if I sort it by the size of the most, these are site CSS. The biggest one is the site CSS, generate press, emojis, uh, press. These are really, I think it's really, you can see this is the one of main load. For example, it's like just 990 bytes, and load took around 284 milliseconds, not even a fully a half second. And you can see this is also one of this native form, but virtually no load at all these are site stuff. So yeah, this also a native form option, just 1 KB, and so it's very light. As I'm seeing from here, there is no major load. All these are my main site stuff. Okay, this is a native form, I missed it out. So the biggest one is just like around 39.1 KB, and that load time is virtually none, just 4.3 seconds. But so it's very light on service if you are using, and looks good. And let me see how it will look like on a mobile devices. Let me go here, do this, and let me pick a 6. Okay, this iPhone 6. We put a different one and see, and close it. And this is how it will look like on mobile. This pretty much same thing, and you can see what kind of things will do. And you need to test it out and to see what works for you best. So those are the options for you. Load wise, it is very light. And finally, HTML templates. This is, we directly copy the HTML template. If I want, I can verify the domain, so this form will be only showing that on that particular domain. I can set a fallback email, like if this failed, what to show this thing. So those options are available. From that is the most of it. If you guys any further questions on this form or deal, feel free to let me know. I'll try to answer it. And also so many people have already bought it, so they will also answer it if you paste it in our community. And if you want to watch more videos like this, do make sure to click subscribe. I create videos which are helpful for entrepreneurs. And also if you decide to check it out, this tool, I will leave both the referral and non-referral link on the video description. You can choose whichever the one, but if you click on referral, I will get a small commission, but does not affect your purchase. Once again, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great. Cheers.